Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Coach Adam here, and I'm back with another episode of Living Your Best Life. This week, I wanted to talk about motivation, um, especially when it comes to creating change in our lives. It's easy to be motivated to do something, but when things become challenging, it's much easier to quit. So, whether you're trying to save up for a big purchase, there's a promotion available at work, or you're just trying to create better habits for a healthier lifestyle, motivation is what's going to get you started, but discipline is what's going to keep you going. All right, look, all my life I've heard about discipline. I'm pretty sure you have too, and how it can enhance our lives and make our lives so much better in so many ways. But I never really cared to listen. Um, and it hasn't been until recently that I've experienced the results of living a disciplined life in the areas that require the most change. Um, it's hard to create those habits, but over the last few months, I'd say even the last year of small little changes here and there, it's made a significant impact on how I see things, how I decide on things, and just how I overall um, complete things and work through the things that I need to work through. So with that being said, I wanted to help you guys out along your journey to be more disciplined when you feel that motivation is lacking or just gone. All right. So what is motivation and discipline? First, let's define motivation. It's the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. All right. It exists as a noun, so it's a thing. It's not an action. All right. It's a thing that can come and go. And I think we've all experienced that. We can't choose to control it. We can't choose to bring it back. We can't choose to push it away. It's a fickle thing, motivation, but it's good to have when we have it. All right. The second thing is discipline that I want to talk to you about today. And discipline is basically to train by instruction and exercise, to like drill into your brain, right? It's repetition. Um, and that does exist as a verb. So, as a verb, it is an action. All right. Discipline is something that we can do and we can choose to do it. All right. We're never going to be motivated to be disciplined. Like, we're never going to have the motivation to go do the simple tasks that we need to do to get to our goals. All right. And discipline is also useless if you're not disciplined in the actions that align with your goal. Right. If your goal is to lose weight, then being disciplined to, I don't know, save your money every week has nothing to do with it. Right. So it's great to be disciplined, but you have to align it with the goals that you have created for yourself. All right. So when you're looking to change something in your life, let motivation inspire you, but don't expect it to stick around. All right. It's why you start something, right? Motivation is what gives us that drive and that ambition and that passion to start and be like, yeah, I really want to do that. I really want to get this done. All right. But eventually that excited feeling is going to go away. And that's when your discipline has to kick in. Right. So when you're motivated, when you have those creative juices flowing, that fire to do something, that's when you have to create that plan so that when that motivation goes away, you just stick to the plan. All right. You got to focus on building disciplined actions around your new goal, around your new thing that you want to change. All right. What are your goals? And what can you do to build towards that? Okay, because like I mentioned earlier, discipline without intention is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to make you feel good that you're completing tasks, but if you're not completing tasks that help you achieve things, then it's kind of pointless. Okay? You have to have a goal. You have to have intention with your discipline. Discipline for the sake of discipline is not going to get you anywhere. All right? It's going to make you feel nice, it's going to make you look good, but that's really about it. All right, because and you have to get specific in what discipline will look like for your goal. All right, if your goal is to save money, then you're gonna have to have the discipline to save 10% of your earnings every paycheck. Without question, you can't make exception. You can't be like, oh well, this paycheck, I'm not gonna do it because I want to buy this or I want to go out and do this. No, 10% every paycheck. That's 20% a month, and you have to put it away as if it's not there anymore, right? You don't have access to it. That takes discipline. Okay, if your goal is to create better eating habits, then you have to be disciplined to go to the grocery store every week or every couple days. And you have to plan your meals and cook them and prep them and do everything possible to create those better eating habits. Right? You have to have the discipline. You can't create better eating habits and not cook at home or not go to the grocery store or expect that when you're out with friends for lunch or dinner that you're going to pick a healthy option. It's rarely ever going to happen. Okay, so you have to build that discipline in creating a meal plan and creating a savings plan if that's what your goals are. All right, so as I keep mentioning about motivation going away and things like that, motivation gets us started, but it's not going to keep rolling on an uphill slope, right? When we are faced with challenges, it's much easier to just stop what we're doing and do something else because that motivation to accomplish that task is gone. When we've gotten to a point where things become challenging, motivation most likely is gone. All right? And even if it's something you love, like for me, I love training, I love coaching, I love doing every single thing that I do, but it gets tiring waking up at 4:30 in the morning. All right, don't get me wrong, I can do it, right? I'll get up, I'll be tired, and I may not want to, but I'll do it because I've created the habit to wake up at 4:30 every single morning, no matter how I feel. I can be exhausted, I can just not be in the mood, whatever it is. I it's much easier to roll over at 4:30 into my warm bed than to get up and shower and get ready. But discipline has helped me keep going into um, help me keep going into creating these habits that I just can't give up. Like even on the weekends, you guys, I'll wake up like 5, 6 a.m. Ask Audrey, she hates it. But I'll be up, and I'll try to stay in bed and just let my body rest and sleep. But the the habit of waking up early is already so ingrained in my body that it just does it for me. Um, so yeah, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. All right, it's a wonderful thing to be motivated. We have to take advantage of that when we feel that motivation, when we feel that initial strike of lightning or that strike of inspiration, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Um, Motivation gives us that power of focus and productivity, like where we just can um, hone in on one thing and just complete it as long as we're motivated. So if you're motivated to make yourself a tuna sandwich, go do it right away because you'll probably finish it quickly. But if you don't do it right away, you may not want it later. Simple, cheap example, I know, but that's the idea that I want you guys to kind of understand. All right, it's um, it's a finite feeling. Motivation is so think of it as like a separate being from yourself. Right, motivation is a friend that comes to visit when it feels like it, and it comes over unannounced. It'll just knock on your door and be like, "Hey, I'm here," right? Or it'll just leave. You'll be in the middle of dinner and it'll just walk out. It's a separate being. You can't beg it. You can't force it. You can't manipulate it into sticking around. It's gonna show up when it feels like it. And it's gonna leave when it feels like it. All right. So when we have the motivation, we have to create as many action plans as we can and tasks to do daily so that we can just continue every single day to harp on those tasks and get our goals accomplished, even if we're not motivated. Right? Because it feels great to make a change, right? But change is still hard, right? That excitement's going to wear off a lot faster than any plan you have can be fully executed. Right? Your goal is going to take longer to reach than the amount of motivation you're going to have. Right? So expect that. Don't be surprised when it happens, but that's not a bad thing. All right? This is where your discipline is going to come and save you. It's going to save the day, I promise you. We're creatures of habit. All right, when's the last time that you stop to think about every single thing you do in the morning to get ready for your day? Like, do you say, okay, I'm going to get up out of bed, and then I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and I'm gonna take a shower, and then I'm gonna get dressed, and then I'm gonna make breakfast, and then I'm gonna make my lunch, and then I'm gonna get in the car, and then I'm gonna go. You don't say those things in your head every single morning. You just do it. You can probably even do it while you're on the phone talking to someone. You can probably do it when you're scrolling through social media in the morning, which I highly suggest you don't, at least for an hour or two after you wake up. But that's a different subject. Actually, no, I already talked about social media. Go back and listen to that. Don't do social media in the morning. It's horrible. So create that habit, right? Create that habit to not look at social media in the morning right away. Read something beneficial for yourself. Look at your goals. Sit in silence. Whatever. Do something more beneficial. Okay, but anyways, back to what I was saying. You don't think about your daily routine, right? You just do it, and it's because it's already ingrained. We've been doing it since we were kids. Get up, get ready for school. After that, get up, get ready for work, right? So we already have those habits. The more you think about things you do throughout the day, the more you'll realize that you almost have no control over those automated habits because we've been doing it for so long, right? But the cool thing about that is that we can hack that and use it to our advantage, right? Obviously, you can see we can create patterns in our brain to do things in our daily life without even thinking about it. That's freaking awesome. So that means that if I set my alarm every morning for 5 a.m., then I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning because that's the habit I need to build. Right? After 6 months to a year, I'm almost up before my alarm every single time. Right? So we can use the habit forming patterns in our brains to our advantage by building good life-changing habits and getting rid of bad habits that are detrimental to our goals, to our livelihood, to our friends and our family, right? Some of our habits can affect other people. Okay, so we have to think about those things as well. All right, because once we understand how we ourselves or how you yourself can establish and practice habits, then we can implement those beneficial ones. All right, when you start something new, your brain starts to lay down new neural pathways, and it starts to build this new connection in its brain, in itself, right? And when you begin something new, that requires a lot of brain power for it to lay down those new neural pathways, right? So because it's out of the ordinary, it's something brand new, so it has to learn something new. All right, and as we repeatedly do it over and over and over again, then we're going to devote less and less brain power to it, and it's just going to become second nature, which is what we're looking for. All right, it's second nature for me to wake up at 5 a.m. It's second nature for 10% of my earnings to go into savings. It's just automatic now. I don't need to think about it. Okay? What's next? Sorry, lost my train of thought. Look, motivation is going to fire the engine. It's going to start your car. But when you think you've run out of gas, when you've hit that uphill slope, discipline is what's going to keep you going. I think I've said that like 6 to 8 times in this episode already, but I can't stress enough the importance of being disciplined. All right, changing habits isn't necessarily difficult, but it does take time. And I think that's where the difficulty comes in for some people. The time it takes to build a new habit and get rid of old habits. And in what I like to call our quote unquote on demand society, like the generation of instant gratification, it can seem pretty difficult to build new habits and almost impossible because we want to be able to do things right away. We're used to wanting to watch a movie and just being able to press play on our TV. I grew up, and I'm sure there's some of you out there, my listeners, grew up in a time where that wasn't available. Internet and on-demand anything was not a thing. All right, so we have to get back to understanding that building new habits is going to take time. It's going to take effort. All right, but if you really want something in your life, then you're going to figure it out. All right, it can be done. utilize that motivation to help you set up actions on the daily to get you going. All right. And with that, don't set yourself up for failure either. Right. Setting up these actions can seem so small and so insignificant, but they're going to add up over time. All right. So when I say don't set yourself up for failure, take these small steps, right? Like, let's say an example of, all right, I need to start going to the gym, and you've never gone to the gym, right? So go to the gym. Drive, park, walk in, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, go home. Do that for 2 weeks. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell? But you wanted to go to the gym, right? So go to the gym. Make it easy for yourself. Go to the gym every single day after work for 2 weeks. Do that. Because after 2 weeks, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to the gym. I'm already here. Let me just get a workout in for 20, 30 minutes. Let me get a run in. Let me jog. Let me go in and do 100 push ups, 100 sit ups, and I'm done. Fine, whatever. But you'll start to build on top of a new habit, right? You've built a habit of going to the gym. All right, now let's build a habit of working out at the gym. And then after that, we build a habit of prepping my meals so that my workouts don't go to waste. Right? It's step by step, it's little by little, but the easier you make things for yourself, the easier it is for you to accomplish it, right? Set yourself such a low bar that it's almost difficult to not hit the bar, right? Like, set it so low that you're like, oh, come on, I can do that. If I don't do that, then really? Okay. Make yourself feel better each time. You'll want to do better each time, right? It's human nature to feel good about yourself when you accomplish something, all right? Um, and give yourself time. All right, on average, it takes about 21 days for you to form a new habit, 3 weeks. And it takes about 66 days, 2 months, for it to become automatic. All right, for me, as an example, January 1st of this year, I started writing in a journal every morning. And for the first month, I'm not going to say it was a challenge because sitting down and writing isn't necessarily difficult, but remembering to make time for it and not skipping it is what required the most effort. All right, but January passed, February passed, that's 2 months. Into March, I don't think it was a question, or like it didn't come up in my head like, oh yeah, I gotta go write in my journal. Like, I gotta make, no, it just, I wake up, I get ready for work, or if schedule's a little different, I'll just wake up, I'll go straight to my journal, then I'll get ready for work. But it's part of my daily routine now that when I miss it, which I'll be honest, I've only missed one day and I felt badly about it, but I didn't give myself a hard time about it. All right, I missed it. All right, that's fine. But I did think about it and I remember that I had to do it. So that kind of reinforces a habit just a little bit. All right. And then a couple last things here, you guys. Don't overwhelm yourself. All right. Your brain is already working so hard to lay down these new pathways. So stick to one new habit at a time. All right. Don't overload your brain by trying to do 5 new things all at once. You're going to overload your brain, you're going to overwhelm yourself, and then you're going to frustrate yourself and probably discourage yourself because you didn't hit any of your new tasks or new habits. Okay? So, form habits, create discipline, and stop worrying about when motivation is going to leave you, because at some point it will leave you. All right? So, that's when you need your discipline to keep moving forward. So, if there is something in your life that you want to change or improve on, you already have that motivation. Right? You already have that desire. Okay? It's a feeling you have, and it's a feeling you already know that's in there when you want to change, when you have that desire to change. All right? All that means is that at that moment, when you think about it, when you feel it, you need to write down what it is that you need to do every single day to make that happen and stick to it. Stick to your plan. Don't let yourself down, right? You wouldn't tell a friend that you're gonna show up to the gym every morning at 8 o'clock and to meet you there, and then you don't show, right? That'd be rude. Don't be rude to yourself. Don't stand yourself up. Okay. Be disciplined and remember why you started. Remember like write down your motivation if you need to next to your goal. Because those days when you don't feel like doing anything, when you're just tired, you're exhausted, you see no point in doing these small daily tasks because you haven't seen any progress, then that's when you're going to need your discipline. Think of your end goal. Think of your why. Think about how you're going to feel when you have accomplished everything you set out to accomplish. I promise you it's going to be worth it. All right, so please, when you have your motivation, write down an action plan, stick to it every single day, and then when that motivation drops off, keep going. All right, because that motivation will come back at some point and it's going to go away again. But if you stay disciplined, you'll ride through those waves of motivation without any discouragement and without feeling like you're running around in circles. But that's all. Thanks again, my friends. I really appreciate you listening and following my podcast. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to you guys all next time. Have a great week. Remember to love yourself and go be the best version of yourself. Bye.